For the second step of creating the rubric, we're going to add in 2 parts for each category that we are assessing. The first will be the point scale, and the second will be the feedback comments that the students will see. For the point scale, we're going to go up to our plus and hit Add Question, and then select Linear Scale. And for example, the first category I notice will be formatting. I prefer using a 0 to 10 scale, but you can adjust depending on your personal preferences. Keep in mind that these labels that I've typed in are really only for the teacher's benefit, and the students will not see those when they receive their feedback. Also, the points for the scale questions in the end will allow us to have tables for the students to read their feedback easily. So it's helpful if we keep all of the categories on the same scale. Also, once we're all done, we can total the different categories for the final score for the assignment. Now, the feedback comment section is where you can add in your standard rubric comments. So I'm going to hit Add Question. And I prefer using the checkboxes option. By using checkboxes, we're able to select multiple because, as we know, sometimes a student hits excellent sometimes and satisfactory sometimes, and it's nice to be able to have the variety of putting both of those options in. Here under my comments, I can add them in whichever order I prefer, and they'll appear in that same order when I'm reading the rubric as the teacher. So those are some examples, but the feedback comments are where you can add in your standard rubric comments. If you're having a hard time deciding what wording to use, I suggest that you check out Brown University's Harriet W. Sheridan Center for Teaching and Learning Grading Rubric sample scales for some great wording options. The 5 levels would be particularly helpful for a 0 to 10 scale. We're going to repeat that process for as many different categories as we have for our assignments. And then at the end, we're going to make sure that all of our questions are required. Now we can either do that by selecting the toggle on for required for each of the questions, and that will make sure that we don't miss anything important. Or if you are like me and you like add-ons, Google Sheets has an add-on called All Questions Required, where I can set all questions as required. And that will make it easier for me as a teacher to make sure that everything gets checked.